What's up, everybody? It's me, Epic, aka Epic the Weeb, aka John, and I just want to give a little bit of a shout out at the beginning of the video to my younger brother and his friend Pierce. They have a podcast called Thoughts from the Roundtable, and I was recently on as a guest in an episode that we did about Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I have an older video about Legends of Zelda Breath of the Wild talking about how incredible the game is and some more of my thoughts. And in this podcast, I give more thoughts about that game. So if you're interested in that at all, please check them out at Thoughts from the Roundtable. You can get them on iTunes, Spotify, all those podcast places that you could find them. Or they're also on YouTube, and they're pretty cool. It's a pretty good episode. Yeah, it was pretty fun to record with them. So if you're interested in podcasts at all, I would definitely go ahead and check that out. Now, let's go ahead and get into the actual meat of the video. Today, we're going to be talking about Vocaloid. That's right, something that I enjoy tremendously. Now, recently, I had been really longing to go back to Round 1. Now, Round 1 is this arcade that when I was out of school, they have one in Lincoln, Nebraska, not too far from where I go to school, and they have a bunch of Japanese rhythm games, and it is incredibly fun to play Beat Coaster and Hatsune Miku Project Diva. Those are the main two ones I play when I'm there, and I kind of started missing it. So I looked up local ones around where I live. I live very far from where I go to school, and I managed to find one not too far away, less than an hour away, and so I went there once, and I played both of them, and I had a really good time. And I was really itching to play more. And then I found out that they had released the Project Diva Mega Mix on Switch, and I had to go ahead and get it. And I have been playing so much of it over the last couple days, it's not even funny. Now, I am absolutely terrible at the game. I'm going to go ahead and preface that now. I'm not good at it. Playing it on a controller is very weird. I really don't like playing multi-button rhythm games. That's why I'm much better at Beat Coaster, because I'm really good at Osu, and I am much prefer just the two-button, more simple type of game where you have the two-button and then you have to do like that one extra thing instead of having multi-button and all that extra stuff on top of it. So that's just personal preference thing. I'm not very good at any of the Project Diva games. But anyway, I really enjoy it. I love listening to Vocaloid. And my brother asked me, why do I enjoy it? And I had to think for myself for a second, why do I enjoy Vocaloid music? And it was kind of a little bit of an epiphany moment for me. And I'm going to leave you a little bit of a story here about what kind of music I've been into throughout my life. I'm going to start back when I was in middle school, probably around 7th and 8th grade, when the song Animals by Martin Garrix came out, and it was being played on the radio where I live. Now, electronic music, for some people, you might have grown up with it more, especially if you lived in Europe, but in America, it wasn't that widely known outside of, producers producing for hip hop and pop songs. So I hadn't really heard just like a pure, EDM song before on the radio with no lyrics. And it was really, really cool to be able to hear something like that. And I fell in love with it almost immediately. I listened to a lot of Martin Garrix Firebeats, almost all of Spinnin' Records songs when I was in middle school up through early high school. That was almost all I listened to. And then by the time I got into later high school, I started transitioning into more punk rock and whatnot. And then by the time I was a junior, senior in high school, I had discovered anime, and I had kept the fact that I watched anime and liked anime a secret by that time because I felt like I would get made fun of. I definitely would have gotten made fun of if I told everybody, but that's beside the point. And I kind of just kept it a secret, kept it to myself. I didn't really get super immersed into weeb culture because I didn't want to, tell anybody that I enjoyed this thing. I didn't watch a whole lot of it. I watched One Punch Man, I watched a couple of other shows, and I really enjoyed of what I saw, but I was just kind of secretive about it. I wasn't very open about all that sort of stuff. By the time college came around, I was much more open about it. I was reading visual novels quite often. I was playing JRPGs with my roommates around. I was even listening to some anime openings with my roommate in the room, and he was completely fine with it. And I kind of started listening to some more like J-pop, J-rock kind of stuff, and that was more short-lived because I soon found Vocaloid. And when I say I found Vocaloid, I mean it just showed up randomly on one of the recommended songs to me, and I saw Miku, and I'm like, oh, this is a familiar character. I've heard of Hatsune Miku. Almost everyone who's familiar with anime at all has heard of Hatsune Miku, and I listened to the song, and I was like, oh, it's like an EDM song, but it's kind of like a J-pop song at the same time, but it's got weird vocals, and I really liked it. I really liked it. And so I kept on going farther and farther down this rabbit hole. And then for like the next 3 years almost now, I've been listening to a lot of Vocaloid songs. And I've really gotten into it and I really enjoy it. And I just think it's a combination of the fact that growing up I did in high school and middle school listen to a lot of EDM. Of course I was playing a lot of Call of Duty and online video games. So that EDM kind of sound almost was there a lot too on YouTube and all those YouTube videos, the stupid compilations and whatnot. And having kind of an anime background, almost enjoying anime, Japanese culture, whatnot, that sort of stuff, kind of combined for this love of this genre that is very different from the norm comparatively to other styles of music because you don't even have a singer. It's a vocal synthesizer that is singing for you, and it's kind of weird if you think about it that people are going crazy at these concerts for people that aren't even there. It's just a program singing. So that's kind of my thoughts about Vocaloid, how I got into it, and why I enjoy it. So if you guys like this video, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and please go ahead and check out my brother's podcast. It's pretty fun. I had a lot of fun recording it, and I know he would be tickled if you left a comment on one of his videos. I'll see you guys next time.